This from PYL first, but I love it. I'm sure Crepo's going to love it as well.
0-1 at Worlds so far. Kitty's had a very underwhelming performance on it during the first week of group stage.
Bard plus Lee Sin is a very dynamic ganking combo.
You can make plays.
You can get some really strong magical journeys through halfway through the lane, and then Lee Sin still has 2 gap closers he can use.
Still waiting for somebody to kick the enemy through a magical journey into the team on the other side. There's no getting out of that one. Thresh Lantern as well to save people that might get locked up in that ultimate from Bard. That Tempered Fate locking up the entire area. Kench could be locked in. Elise is already for Sir T. They have their junglers. They have their support. I don't know if we're going to get it with the Bard up there. Unless it's going to be Zion on the top lane, Kench.
There's always that possibility. Although he's shown such success on support so far here at Worlds.
Not many champions can say 100%, man.
These next 2 picks are going to show us a lot about COD's team composition. You would want to kind of see a Vayne, but picking it blind into this Gangplank Elise Thresh is pretty dangerous.
Picking Vayne blind was Double's forte in the past, right? Just always take cleanse with it. You're all right.
Riven into Gangplank is actually a pretty good matchup, and it's one of the things that Zion Spartan has a lot of games on. Wouldn't be surprised to see it.
I want to see it. Pobelter has been kind of relegated to being very safe for the team, being there for damage and team fights and not zeroing people out. And it is going to be that Riven, but it can still float around. Gotta wait and see. Zion usually gets the last pick for Chronologic Gaming, and that may still be what we're seeing.
Looking to make individual plays here. Afromu grabs Bard, Smithy on Lee Sin, Zion on Riven, and Double Lift on Vayne. Everybody picking their favorite champions, basically. Trying to make those solo plays.
At the same time, CLG's singular strategy that they tried to run into every game had fallen flat. 2-0 start in the group. 0-3 since then. So even though this is their last game, and even though their group chances of advancing have been ended, this could actually be a superior strategy for CLG if they end up winning here against Pain.
Double Lift did go legendary the last time they played Pain Gaming. It was actually a pretty quick game. The Draven from BRTT and Kami takes the Fate.
Ooh, that is painful.
And I raise you a Draven as well as a Twisted Fate.
Oh.
Kami's victory was on Twisted Fate here in the group stage.
Now's our top, season 1.
Shut down a lot of the plays that COD tried to make around the map.
This is a very scary Pain Gaming group here.
Pain's
They've got double globals they can throw down to a Draven Thresh lane. It's so easy to snowball this Draven. They've got the Thresh combo with Elise ganks. They have 2 globals. This is very, you can't throw much more than this.
Respect the rat.
It's like a dream draft for Pain right now.
You even have BRTT's Callista open as well, but goes for that Draven. I like it a lot. Let's see what we have. 7 seconds on the clock as they still play the emotions of the crowd. It's going to be a Morgana pickup.
So Pobelter's still going to try and enable the outplays from the rest of his teammates. Getting that black shield to try and either, whoever has a better start, Double Lift or Zion Spartan, get that snowball rolling.
See if he sticks with teleport as well. We're going to have people flying all across the map from get-go. I like it. When these guys played in the first week, it also was coming off of like 3 level 1 games. There was like so much hype in each game. It's like people had to fight. I hope they keep with that trend, and I hope we get a level 1 fight out of this.
Yeah, I think there will be sufficient excitement from these pick and ban phases. Getting to see Gangplank double globaling up with Twisted Fate, getting to see BRTT's Draven with their ability to just mob their entire team down to try and get kills, but then also Double Lift trying to avoid it all with a mid lane powered black shield in Vayne.
All right, does he stick with this?
Let's see if
Double Lift himself going to take that flash
look for a lane swap here.
Makes sense.
Because Vayne Bard into Draven Thresh with this much global pressure and at a Elise gank sounds scary.
It's going to be pretty scary.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm sure everybody's ready now for Game 6. For this match, you can weigh in by tweeting at LOL Esports with hashtag PNG win or hashtag CLG win if your faith is still there for a final victory here in the group stages. Group Stage 2, Game 6. Pain versus Counterlogic Gaming rematch. We're going to be on the Rift, boys and girls. This crowd.
Final game of the day. No tiebreakers to be played because the top 2 seeds in the group have been decided.
Flash Wolves shocked everyone.
Pain wins. They tie CLG for 3rd, but no tiebreaker will be played because it doesn't have advancement implications on top of it. CLG looking to end the group at 3-3. ahead of Pain.
The flare is out. Let's see how fast the kills come in this game. Good luck, have funs across the board from both teams. And Zion Spartan already working on the mechanics, warming up a bit of damage for that pass.
Well, CLG could just go for the blind lane swap, get out these line of scrimmage defensive wards and swap double and Aframu up top.
Really interested to see how Pain executes the gate down to the bottom, the gate anywhere, because if Kami doesn't like his position, he can just call for a GP ult on the gate and it'll be like, all right, I'm cool.
Here's the thing though, we're talking about, oh yeah, GP, where there's so much globals here for Pain and they can really make the bottom lane life hard for double and Aframu.
Right.
The lane itself, Gangplank versus Riven, is super hard for Gangplank.
Yeah.
This is a really good lane for Zion. They can snowball Zion, and if they cut Gangplank off early, don't even get him enough money or experience, then they can snowball Zion's lead on the Riven and try and punish Pain that way.
Not to mention, the rest of CLG also has the ability to match a 5v5 down bottom lane because they brought double TP from their solo lanes as well.
That's right. If you go hard, Pobelter's just going to come in and soul shackle the entire crew. It'll be a bad situation. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for all of them. Who's going to make it into the best and put it in an advantage?
Ah, so even though
Great
Pain
board.
did call the lane swap here, CLG's delayed invade will stop the Gromp.
Yeah, that's what it looks like
They're
here.
going to have to walk away immediately and take the lane. Double if sees it. They get the matchup there. I'm sure BRTT actually is quite happy about this one once he starts getting that adoration stacked up. And hopefully cash in as soon as possible. Aframu to the top. And we are going to get our matched up lanes here.
All right, so
2v2.
yeah, they're going to take control of the minion wave here first, though.
Double lift already missed a CS. Bad start.
Come on, man.
Final game nerves. So they actually keep it right off the turret. Perfect for BRTT. He's going to be able to farm these nicely. Got to give your support those relics, though. Got to show some love. Zion Spartan and Smithy at the top side already.
Immediate four-man dive.
Another wave crashing
Mylon's
in.
already used TP, so there's no help. They're level 1 under their turret against 4 people. He missed the Q!
There's a hook, but there's too many minions there. Dude actually cannot do anything about it. That's going to be the hit coming in. A TP from Kami, however. The gold card is late, and the kill comes up. 1 for 1 in the supports.
Yeah, the kill going to double lift, I think, benefits CLG, especially because Kami ended up burning his teleport up top lane, but sloppy dive there from CLG. Aframu was about 6 inches from those guys, and he threw the Q wide right. Not the best dive for CLG to open this one up.
Let's see if they answer on Zion. This is Elise, can start it out. He is post level 3 Elise as well.
And no flash on Zion.
Yeah, Gangplank doesn't have the biggest amount of damage now. It is a full health level 3 Riven, so.
Got good movement in lane.
Safe.
Mid lane pulled Kami away, so there's a bit of a wave lead here for Pobelter. He'll be able to keep throwing Tormented Soil down to the bottom side. As the Afro is taking a bit of a roam to put a ward down, but safety with the journey back to the lane. Double Lift will have nice farm here in front of the turret, with help from Aframu if necessary. They back, or will they just stay? It looks like BRTT indeed. Just waiting for that lane to push back out. TP now back in from Pobelter in the mid lane to keep a bit of that CS lead up. We're going to see Kami now going back. A little bit, you could kind of say it was a level 1-ish too. aggression from Counterlogic Gaming there.
It was some very early aggression on level 1 opponents.
Not a true, yeah, right, exactly.
Well,
level 2 allies.
Well, let's see if Pobelter's roam here works off.
Yeah, he teleported back really early to get the shove, and he knows Kami's going to be back in base. Plus, they know there's no teleports to match, but it is spotted by a ward.
I like it. 4.5 minute roams here.
Ward
Knowing
check.
Kami's out of lane, just playing a bit of fundamentals here on both sides.
Yeah, the big thing here for the Morgana matchup is mid lane Morgana going to try and match max, or at least put 3 points into Tormented Soil, enough to kill the backline by itself before he transitions into upping the binding. Level 4 he should be at 2 right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
looks like he's ready and set to do that. Another Doran's Ring so he can keep spamming that spell out. Zion Spartan and Mylon in the bot lane here. See if Zion plays as much rush down as we think he will on this Riven. Feeding in a few auto attacks between his broken wings. It looks like he will be able to get out of this one. Q should be up in enough time. The dodge. There you go.
Easy dodge, not much loss there. Mylon actually will lose him into the turret as well for his efforts. And Zion will just go back to base. So No harm, no foul there. See if the move up towards mid lane works out, though. Looks like both sets are going into the jungle.
Yeah.
Sir T is going to counter jungle. Aframu and Smithy are doing the same.
They do an interesting dynamic in this game where you have the duo lanes matched up against each other, but the jungler is still kind of swapping sides in a vertical sense. It gives CLG a bit of a camp for Doublelift, but it hasn't really resulted in many advantages. BRTT still pretty happy on CS.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's gonna get hit.
Oh.
Time to go the other way.
Gonna go over the wall. If he misses this Q.
Whoa. Really?
Now he's just gonna...
Be careful there. BRTT still inside of spider form, can fight, but Zion wants to be able to stay in lane with a bit of the potions he just chugged left. So, stays safe.
All the attention down bottom lane, though, as well as Zion being involved in that early game gank, is giving Mylon a pretty big CS lead. We're talking about the difficulty of that matchup for the Gangplank, but based on the early game, Mylon getting a tremendous start.
Yeah, he's just got to worry about that level 6 all-in from Riven. If they decide to send some jungle pressure down there from CLG's side.
Definitely feels like Smithy's pretty happy in this jungle. He's been here for the last 2 minutes.
Setting
I
up
think
shop.
He's wasting a ton of time.
Not only Smithy, but Aframu's been with him the entire time.
Super inefficient. The rest of Pain Gaming getting a pretty big gold lead because of all the meandering in that jungle.
Yeah, they're leaving Doublelift alone though, right? That's the success, but it's definitely not paying. Yeah, you're right. So Smithy now by himself as Aframu and double back, maybe meeting up to lane once again. Does not look like they'll switch anything over for Dragon coming up here. Zion Spartan's going to stay on the bot side. Doublelift picks up his Cutlass, going back to BRTT's BF Sword. They have switched to bot side, however, so Zion's life could get a little harder.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid that all-in level 6 I was talking about for Riven. Trying to swap Gangplank out here. See if CLG actually decide to answer. No, they're not. Sending Zion right back down into the jungle at the moment.
Yeah. CLG not looking that great after their 0-2 start and current 3-game losing streak. Crumbs mentioned on the analyst desk that they have the mental fortitude of a sun-dried tomato. I'm going to accept that.
That was
a
little
thing. Hold on, I'm going to accept that as total fact. But what will be answered by this game is whether a sun-dried tomato has strong mental fortitude. Because if CLG wins,
that's true.
It'll prove that it does.
Just kind of bases the ground for that. We'll get a constant here in this game.
Yep.
Ow.
I still think sun-dried tomato, taking sun and remaining a tomato, and also remaining tasty, shows like a really strong commitment to being a tomato.
No preservatives needed.
Well, top lane is going to be able to zone off Gangplank at least here. Zion's going to have to play just as careful as Mylon is.
Cosmic bound the minions. Be good to go. Level 6 soon for Aframu. They'll definitely have a bit more room to work with that tempered fate and getting themselves into dangerous situations. Turret going in, soul gold there for BRTT, so he's getting himself nice and fat. Him and Doublelift are actually even in CS right now, but those fights are going to be very painful. From the Draven, Mylon getting found in the jungle. And Smithy says, haven't you been aware? This is my jungle this game.
Very true.
It's just where he's living.
The cost of rent on that side of the jungle is the bottom turret, 40 CS on the top laner, and the dragon. So I wonder if they're going to want to renew when the lease is up on that side.
Oh, no.
I would suggest against it.
Tormented Soil, Pole Welter's blue. Whoa! Lots of flashes. Oh, it is finally going to get hit.
And all the globals we thought would be spent on Doublelift are expended on Zion Spartan.
I love that the hook picked it up.
And they are punishing this Riven, the snowball champ that you want to get going. Pain Gaming, keep him down.
I feel like Pain still misplayed that a little bit, though. There's 180 adoration stacks on BRTT, and Dwog auto-attacked a stun target while the axe was on its way to cash it on the adoration.
Leave the support alone.
All right, Mylon, no flash here.
There's a kick from McSmithy. Mylon gets stunned up. Looks like it's going to be a secondary. Uses the orange. It could be K. Broken wings, one last hit. He actually didn't run away. He's trying to run back and forth, but he didn't really have anywhere to go in the first place. That turret is down. He had no safety, but that is exactly what Zion Spartan needed after being pressured in this bottom lane. Still, some 20 to 30 CS down.
Yep, so do strike back with their own teleport, and Doublelift is going to be split pushing down bottom now. Cutlass completed.
Quick lucidity boots into the sheen here for Kami.
Yeah. And we're going to have to track the way that CLG uses Doublelift as a split pusher here, because that's exactly what he's doing with the exhaust on Vayne.
Yes.
And I think this is the first exhaust we've seen on an 80 carry, a true 80 carry here at Worlds, and it's because he needs to be able to duel Draven. Normally Draven's incredibly good against Vayne because he can stand at the same auto attack range, and Vayne can be tumbling around and Draven just hits him in the face with a spinning axe. With the exhaust specifically though, Doublelift can win those 1v1s.
Bit of that movement, or I should say slow from Cutlass as well. A lot of mechanics to keep himself alive. It's like Doublelift, or it's like... Okay, let's start over. It's how he likes to play. It's easy when you fit the right word in there. Like we said before, the past seasons he would just take cleanse on that, knowing he'd get himself into very deep fights. He'd cleanse out. He likes to play for himself in these lanes. Pobelter still keeping that pressure in the mid lane. Nice, evenly farm between those two with the roaming that they've been doing. And now it looks like the teams are going to start getting that vision pushed up in the jungle. Is going to see a little bit more action here. First dragon of the game has already gone to Pain.
5-man mid here for CLG. Oh, Afro gonna get hooked. Oh, no, he's not. Smithy takes it.
Pie to the face for Smithy. Afro move ducks on that one. And that's going to be the kill. Oh, why Tempered Fate now? Because they're trying to come in for Pobelter and Doublelift. A little late on the call there. Miscommunication, and PNG, Pain looking like they may want to go back in on this. Keeping them from doing anything fast, forcing the flash for Pobelter here. Will they keep going on this? Dude coming in looking for a hook. He gets hit with a binding. Twisted Fate's gate's going to show. Destiny does not allow Afromu to sit in the brush. He also has to flash.
The drawback of the 2-man face check there. Afromu ducks out, and Smithy didn't get the memo.
He sell them out. Oh man.
It's just a tarp. Oh no! That was magical.
And yeah, the CC chain by Pain, we saw how devastating it can be right there. Twisted Fate Gold Card, Elise Cocoon, Thresh Hook. It seemed like Smithy was going to be fine. If they would have expected the CC chain, Afromu would have used Tempered Fate right away.
Right.
But he was just like, all right, as soon as you're in between a CC, just jump me, bro. Never happened.
I'm sorry you're dying. Late. So, turret taking good damage. Got a blue card on there for a bit more oomph. And Kami's going to be out now. See this play one more time. Whoop! Got the warden.
Then gold card.
Yeah, see, Afromu expected
Walk
it.
up, play.
He knew the skill shot was waiting in that bush.
Flash.
That's why he dropped the ward and immediately dodged, but Smithy, not so much.
Also, Afromu totally walked out of safeguard range there. I wouldn't have wanted to be close. I don't blame him.
Nick Smithy was thinking, there's a Bard in front of me. Nothing can hit me now.
Bard's a big guy. Afromu's got dodges, though.
Yeah, even so, Pain playing this early game pretty well. They are a pretty slow team. One of the slowest teams in CB LOL. I think their indecisiveness in the mid and late game is actually the main reason they aren't advancing out of this group even. They had many opportunities to beat Flash Wolves earlier today, which would have actually put them in an opportunity here that if they win that game, beating CLG would have advanced them from the group, which is crazy to think about as a wildcard team, but they were so close to having that opportunity. I think they want to prove that had that Flash Wolves game gone a little better, that they are still a very good team, and they're showing it at least early here against CLG.
Ward's coming up. 1 minute onto Dragon. Checking ultimates. Looks like they're all going to be up if nobody's pressured into using one here. Destiny is almost there, but Pain already has the vision they really want to get into this situation. 3-2 on the board. Level 9 for Pobelter. Kami is almost about to hit 11. Not really going to matter too much for that 11 ult. Pain is definitely ready to fight this.
Yeah, Pain know that the vision is extremely important for their comp. They're all based around picks. Pick comp like this, if there's a timely black shield and they double up the CC, it will crumble very quickly to an all-in. Once again, CLG looking for the 5-man all-in around mid lane to try and open up the jungle.
It feels like CLG's strategy is almost running into some direct counters. Based on the way they're building their champions as well. Doublelift, Blade of the Rune King, working on a static Shiv, which tells me he wants to be able to wave clear and split push. It also shows with the Summer Spell. The pick of Riven very often wants to split push, so it kind of sets up this 1-3-1 with strong disengage in the mid lane. But it's against a Twisted Fate and a Gangplank double globals, which is set up to deal with the 1-3-1. That's a nice pick, though, from CLG. Chain stunning on their own accord.
Yep, and that's going to be Dragon for them as well. They moved on down here. There is a teleport for Mylon, but no jungler, no go.
Just a bit of waiting it out for the mistake. Like you said, Jet, indecisiveness. causes Pain Gaming to make some mistakes, not be in the right spot, and just CLG walking through that wrong path allows CLG's forward vision to actually finally get a kill here. Evening up the score now 3-3, coming up on 16 minutes. CLG getting a bit of oomph from Dragon #1 damage. See how they use this. Zion Spartan to the top lane. See if he can put BRTT on the back foot. Does not look like it.
No,
He has no finished items right now. Bloodthirster to the Phage Kindle Gem. Zion Spartan trying to get himself built up. Black Cleaver at least.
Still hasn't died yet either. 130 stacks there.
300 adoration
Or
stacks.
300 for BRTT. Plus, down on the other side in the solo lane, Mylon has earned 467 extra gold out of his parlay. Farming up very nicely, still has that CS lead over Zion, so.
Not to mention Twisted Fate gets extra gold. There's a lot of gold earning.
We gotta keep track of so many passives here.
What's he at? What's he at? Oh, it doesn't have a...
We got it here. Nope.
It counts on spectator mode. We can't check. Every CS gives him 1 to 6 gold, so roughly 500.
He's rich. Aframu, bad spot. This is that close-in. Able to take down Aframu immediately. No Temper Fate coming out of that fight. Pobelter still wants it. Tries to get the Soul Shackle on, but he can't look into the eyes of opponents for long enough to get it to stun. Zion Spartan trying Wind Slash as well. Not doing much after Broken Wings could not connect. Everything pretty far off for Chronology Gaming there.
Yep, BRTT was able to cash in before he had to flash out there.
Huge amount of gold spike right there for them. That's at least an extra 600 gold from that kill. So now really Pain Game looking to take control of this. Since while that was happening, they can still set up some split pushing and some nice deep vision in the jungle here. Oh, no, it doesn't have any more time. Otherwise, you can.
Takes a journey through the jungle just for the sights.
CLG. A little bit of waiting now. Teleport for Zion Spartan is down. He'll be hovering on the bottom lane. Dragon not coming up for quite some time, so we'll see where CLG continues to focus. Pobelter and Aframu kind of roaming together here. Both have a bit of catch potential, but nobody behind them to finalize if they do grab anything.
All right, we do see another swing down through the red side jungle too. CLG gonna try and keep up the plays. Last outer turret standing. And Mylon sees it coming. He's gonna back off, play extremely safe.
Nice little wall of defense created by the members of Chronologic Gaming throughout the bottom side of the jungle here at Pain. Losing a little bit too much. They can't get behind Chronologic Gaming to make this work. It's gonna be hard for them to get into these engages.
Mylon's got to back off. This should be a turret trade. Pain should take top, CLG should take bottom. The question will be, will this play extend?
Pobelter got 2.
Puts the black shield on himself, but he goes down due to all the front end damage. He does live. I'm a liar. Kills for Sir T going down.
Oh, does he?
Going down.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
It's not on target.
Nope. That's all right.
Yeah, the timing of that was so precise. Oh, they're going to continue a dive. Stick out.
You can't do that to the secondary turrets because you have to kill the first one. You can't do it.
That's
Aframu with the flare afterwards.
Best Bard ult. Worlds.
Nobody.
All right.
That does work if you do it on the outermost turret. Teleport up top though. Well, they can't. Did they? No, he continued it.
Yeah, that's a strong push. Mylon and BRTT give him enough oomph to take down that turret with Pobelter defending. This game heavily picking up rotation-wise. Twisted Fate Ultimate actually the only global still up on the map right now. The others have been expended.
CLG doing a pretty good job actually traveling as a group of 5, trying to pressure, trying to reduce the effect of the extra globals there from Pain.
Yeah, well specifically when Pobelter got 2 with that ultimate, he was so close to dying, but the spell vamp from the passive when he got the second proc of his ultimate for damage healed him just enough to stay alive. So if he would have died, like I think he got nearly into single-digit health before he ended up getting healed at the very end there.
I was convinced he was dead.
Looked like he was
GG passive.
Dead. Someone died. Pobelter's right next to him.
Yep. Does not look like he's having fun in the mid lane right now, running away from both Kami and dude. BRTT comes in. He is back up to 81 adoration stacks on himself. He just keeps charging and catching axes.
It's actually not that dangerous for Pobelter because he can see both skill shots coming, the Death Sentence or the Cocoon, and he can Black Shield himself. Neither of them will break it. The notorious POB likes to live dangerously. It's paid off a little bit there in the mid game. CLG pulling back to pretty much even here. 4 turrets though. They have 1 turret advantage. Yep. Pain could get some standing gold back.
All the standing gold is really...
Zion, see how this all-in works down there. Not gonna take it. Big minion wave and gold card ready.
Unless Zion Spartan had flash advantage, I don't see him being able to take advantage of TF there.
Logic Gaming setting up somewhat around Baron, taking scuttle control. The adrenaline rush coming in from BRTT, but doesn't look like he really wants to take that fight all the way home. He doesn't have the vision to do so. Smithy and the rest of the team, though, still living on that side of the jungle. Looks like they have renewed Ren. Is he gonna go in? Oh, Syndrome, but he's out. He's out, cured quickly.
Does not have...
I think he's got a ward. He could have jumped.
Does he have a charge in that?
Yeah, I think he's got 2 charges.
Yeah. Didn't want to risk it going under the turret. There's a lot of snares on Pain Gaming. If they were in the fog of war backing it up, he could have just cost himself a lot.
Yeah, now Dragon's going to be up again.
Take
so the global game, Pobelter would have to teleport in. He just finished his Zonius, which is a huge power spike for Morg.
See if they'll be able to burn this down. Doublelift's actually going to keep aggro on it. Still damage to Aframu. Tempered Fate just hits Mylon on the outside. He could be able to get out of this one quickly. Throwing down his ultimate. He knows he's going to die, so he tries to slow the rest of
Afro's going down to the Dragon!
Xerxes going to hit it. Afro was taking so much aggro damage from Dragon. Zion Spartan now gets singled out and taken down. Adoration stacks coming in for BRTT. He becomes even more rich, and they are on the hunt right now. Flash coming out. That was almost a hit from Dude. A little far off.
Yeah, they are going to be able to take the Dragon after this, though, and pressure here mid from Kami. Blue buff TF. They'll probably be able to rotate and clean that up.
Yeah, the Bard ultimate only catching 1 was not a clean initiation for CLG, as well as Pobelter getting chunked as he teleported in.
Afro took almost 70% of his life in Dragon damage
in
there.
the beginning and then towards the top side when it was started. Unfortunate. Definitely difficult to start a fight there.
Yeah, very few people on CLG got to do what they wanted to in this fight. Beautiful fresh hook on Pobelter at the start. He still gets his ultimate off on 4.
And the Zonia, so...
Yeah, but dies right after. And watch Doublelift just get chain CC right here. He gets gold carded, which he then flashes backwards. Wants to get back in the fight.
Well, he's out here by the barrel, and then he
hits him. Ugh.
Meanwhile, Zion gets 1 versus 3 up there.
Yeah. Doublelift, where are you? Stunned. Forever. Also, I flashed backwards.
About that cleanse. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, would have been really useful there.
Yeah,
he's going to need his QSS. When he gets a QSS in late game, it'll help.
Right.
But with the way the CC is layering, and the fact that Twisted Fate will reveal him even when he's in his final hour,
that's true.
It's a tough world to be made.
Oh man, Zeke's Harbinger already built up for Dude as well. BRTT going to be throwing out that much more pain on top of now his Youmuu's finish. So with that, he can get into range with Adrenaline Rush and a Youmuu's. That's what it looks like, boys and girls. And Zion Spartan will go down.
And Kami, surprise! Zion, you're not hunting BRTT. They turn it around on him.
Oh, Doublelift
is though.
Ham dogging it right now. Goes in, actually almost gets crit out by BRTT there. Will they start the fight? The magical journey to the back to the mid lane does save them. Everybody getting some frequent flyer miles on that one. They're going to be able to temper fate. There's no fight though. The barrels are ready to pop. They cannot get to the hit though with it doing damage. Smithy is going to get a kill for himself, but goes down valiantly. That's a shutdown on him. Going in for Mylon, you can see on the scoreboard there. And Mylon will finally go down to Pobelter.
Oh, another hook here from
It's not over.
Aframu's there, though. What a bloody little game we have here.
We got ourselves a barn burner, that's for sure. 9 kills to 9. The gold is within 400, but that's mainly because Pain has so many gold gaining mechanics on their side. Not like the gold gaining mechanics scale poorly. Like Twisted Fate and Gangplank also get extra gold and then scale amazingly with items as well. So it still means Pain has a realistic gold lead.
Pain's running the cash money comp. That's all
They
there is to it.
really are.
Let's see, where are they at right now even? Except for the jungler. Definitely have a lead in each one of their lanes. Doublelift, I gotta say though, 402. Obviously nobody's gonna be high on him. He is the highest in the game at 10,250 gold right now. The RTT very close though at 9,800.
Yeah, Zeke's Harbinger is completed though. On to threat.
Right quick for Dude on that one. they can stay in range of each other. We actually have seen some teams, they'll get that, and then they kind of separate. They're not next to each other enough for the charge. It's got to be 1,000 range, but they're back and forth. The support is warding in the AD's middle, and they really don't get the full effectiveness.
Yeah, especially with how split pushy this game is. It's really hard for Dude and BRTT to stay in the same place for long periods of time.
Also, the CC setup is of the utmost importance here in this game. Because there are no true tanks, and everyone's fairly squishy. Smithy on Lee Sin is probably the tankiest person in the game, and he's just got mostly health there, Armor from Dead Man's Plate.
Ward Wars, once again.
Also becomes incredibly important to track the shorter cooldowns, the mini cooldowns from your basic abilities of the enemies when there's so much damage on the field, to know when you can continue with a skirmish. Because in this scenario, even if somebody goes down instantly, both teams have enough damage that they can still combo and come out with a team fight victory.
Can they chain put a ward on it?
The instant lantern here, and Smithy gets hooked.
That's quite a bit of damage for Smithy. He's always left out to dry as the only one that can get his resonating strike in. The flash forward.
Friend, he saw the play.
Mylon had one of those as well earlier in the week.
Oh, the cleanse comes out. Was it too early?
That was one of those low ping QSS. No. Revenge for Kami. He did that twice on the first day. The latency is so low in this environment. I feel like sometimes the players are used to doing it in other ways, but this is a huge power move.
Yep, when it rains, it pours here. Pain right up the middle. Gonna be 2 turrets after that pick as well.
Yeah, sometimes these guys are so used to predicting the CC to land on them, so they can QSS it right away.
CLG kind of tunneling on the all-in there to try and kill BRTT before he can click the lantern.
Yeah, BRTT and Kami are getting pretty fed. Not to mention Gangplank is no slouch for Mylon. This is after the fact. Yep.
Oh!
Just a fraction of a second.
Just a tiny bit early.
You're dead.
Didn't see the emoticon last time. That was cheeky. Very nicely done. 30 seconds on to Dragon. They will head down there. Zion Spartan's already trying to clear waves and put some pressure on the bottom lane, but it's exactly where Pain wants to go right now. Will they be able to kind of teeter this back and forth with the Baron? Or are they just going to burn down Dragon? Looks like they are backing. Nothing too crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, I think Pain's putting up a pretty strong case to take down both CLG and Flash Wolves in games here at Worlds. Be the first wildcard team to win multiple games at the World Championship. They were so close to beating Flash Wolves earlier today. Imagine if that had been different. Unfortunately, it's not. So this is the way it
Well, we mentioned it. It falls back on Pain having longer wins and longer losses. There's more room for mistakes. Their undecidedness in making strategies work, it really costs them.
Yeah. As BRTT would say, they definitely deserve respect.
Absolutely, respect the
strongest wild card here, but dude.
They're trying to give the kill to Double Lift.
Dude, where's my team?
They're Dragon.
They're taking Dragon. Objective focus.
The third of the game.
Yep.
The tax in that side of the jungle continues to be paid by CLG and Dragon.
Parked his team at Dragon and forgot. 12 to 10, 29 minutes in. 3K gold lead here. Pain coming in strong. That's going to be the teleport top from Mylon, but he's not flying anywhere.
Teleport.
It's not a home guard. Belter straight in. Oh! Wide left on that one. He is going to get the Soul Shackle off. The flash coming on back. It is not going to be in time for the Zanyas. The stand aside does, however, hit. More adoration, baby. He cashes in. It's the League of Draven this game, and Mylon's now going to have a problem. Double lift on his backside. A few shots for him. Not healing himself enough, though. Tumbles out of the damage. Can he turn back? The card comes through, and it's wild enough to take down Double lift. A shutdown coming in for Kami.
The best thing to see about great TFs is when they decide to use red card instead for the AoE. Can Smithy make it out?
What is... No? Just dug your own grave. Wait, no! Oh! Spider bites. Some of the deadliest. Zion Spartan now in the top. Not going to pull out anything crazy. Closes his eyes and wishes for the best.
The second best thing is when you know you have the kill secured and you blue card kill.
Kobe, you said when it rains it pours. Well, now it's a torrential downpour. Yeah. CLG, an ace 6,000 gold plus the Baron looking like this, especially since CLG is trying to pull a split push composition with very little tank presence. Stop the drag!
Oh, it's got 600.
Can he meep it? Ah, he can't meep it. That would have been fantastic, though. Looks like Pain permanently flying the flag right now as they get themselves up to 17-11. Every time there's a play, they're just showing glitter with that control 6. 3 of 4 dragons. First Baron here. Let's see how much of a power play they can work. Aframu trying to give a little more versatility to the team with a banner command. Hopefully they don't have to go to every lane now.
Yeah, just trying to get the split push going against Twisted Fate, Gangplank, and double teleport. Not easy.
Not at all.
Ended up trying to get some flanks going off, but Pain Gaming has just been one step ahead of the game. Shutting down Pobelter through Zhonya's with ease, and Kami just hit his death cap, which is pretty terrifying for CLG.
Tense. Infinity Edge. Triforce, the build of another Infinity Edge, but probably a Last Whisper and a Bloodthirster. So just these guys being able to be items ahead here, and Zion Spartan still building damage himself is going to have to zero out people. That's what
there's a dead end in that magical journey. Aframu with the troll.
Whenever there's a really small magical journey like that, I like running through it multiple times.
Absolutely.
Like a small, fun little game. We should get
oh no,
gold.
He didn't. He 2 Infinity Edges.
Hey, that is a gang. That is a viable Gangplank build. When Gangplank was actually making it through the pick ban phase on a regular basis, you would see half of them going double Infinity Edge for the larger crits and the better barrels, and the other guys going Phantom Dancer for the split push and cheaper crit chance.
Right.
This is absolutely a viable build, especially when you're ahead.
CLG trying to split push against this baroned up Pain team, though, and Pain don't look like they're going to slow down the train.
Yeah, that's going to be an inhib if CLG doesn't come back right away.
Temper Fate. Afro's got it on that one. Second inhibitor.
Double Lift has to channel a regular recall here, though, and they're going to come from the
Double Lift
foul.
No, he didn't. Now he's back again. Little indecisive. Home guard from Zion Spartan's already been seen. It's not enough to scare Pain Gaming off of this one. There's the hit. Mylon gets out of that one with an orange. Everything's okay. And it looks like CLG is just trying to batter PNG off their doorstep here. But Pain, they have 0 cares in the world right now for any damage CLG is going to do. And they are right in their face. There's the catch on a double lift. Now he's got the cleanse. He waits for another one to hit so he didn't get doubled up. Very nicely done there as Pain stacked their crowd control. What? Pain coming out huge in the fight. It doesn't matter that they use their crowd control first. They have the front end damage to burst down and kill CLG all the way. Another crowd control lockup coming in from Kami. The triple kill coming in from Mylon. Their eyes are on the Nexus.
This is going to be game. Pain 20 kills to 11. Shut down CLG, what looks like with a perfect comp for Pain.
Aframu, Zion doing what they can. Broken Wings and Wind Slash ready to be used, but Zion can't close the gap. Goes for Kami. Kami's got the Zanyas. They're onto Zion now, and he's forced to retreat from his own base as Mylon sets up the barrels. And Pain Gaming takes down Counter Logic Gaming.
Well played game.